In this daily Bitcoin chart, we're going to ask the following question. How far can this bullish climactic action go? Now, I'll show you how it's really attempting to sell off desperately. Here we have important evidence to consider, which is nothing other than a clear range. Once again, we see how the selling intent predominates. It's trying to sell, and with force. And if you're wondering, what does this mean? And what implication will it have? I'll explain it to you now. The video analysis you're about to watch, I consider it of vital relevance, since we've taken the Bitcoin chart on its daily time frame and updated its entire macro structure, identifying very interesting points. But let's start from the beginning. In this daily chart, what we're observing here is the bullish channel that Bitcoin was working on at that time, whose alpha angle came to seek the historical maximum, $68,000, before initiating what is called the bear market. What we've done this time is identify the key points, which at that time, many months ago, we were also identifying. So here, we're already realizing that the origin of the breakout originally is at this point, specifically at $34,500 right here, but it's clear that the origin of the breakout is dynamic. That's why we've moved the guideline itself. And if you're wondering why we've updated this macro structure, quite simple. In the old macro structure, Bitcoin was already playing with it as if it were a key, vital point. However, the analysis tells us that it's plausible to expect a certain bullish fury. In other words, that strong and aggressive climactic action. That's when we found ourselves compelled to look for a structure that allows us to visualize the aggressive bullish movement we've been defending for many weeks now. This is nothing new. Now, I want you to pay attention to the following. I always give great importance to the bearish momentum preceding the corrective pattern. So, regarding this bearish momentum, I usually seek the volume profile to tell us where the level with the highest transactional volume is. What happens? If we conduct this search in its entirety, we'll realize that it will place the POC in the future creek, as you're seeing, because it's normal that during this pause, we know that smart money resolved Bitcoin extensively, in large proportions, of course. That's why, if we create a volume profile of the entire bearish momentum, we'll have this bias that won't allow us to see what our point of interest will be. And that's why we've literally taken it from this end of the Bitcoin price to this minimum, and then looked for that volume profile. Now notice, where is the POC setting? Remember that the POC is the point of control. It's the level with the highest transactional volume related to this entire bearish momentum. And we're interested in knowing that point because smart money often intends to go after those levels since they know they'll find counterparties there, or in other words, liquidity is becoming very popular. Let's zoom in here, and now that we're observing in a way, well, the Bitcoin price has come to break through this creek, this relevant level, with a strong bullish momentum and is now continuing with this channel. As you can see, it's rushing with great aggression to the price level of $39,800, a level very close to $40,000, a psychologically significant price level that the price potentially wants to visit. But beware, not everything is as simple as I'm explaining it, because what's happening here might surprise more than a few, as while we see the price going up, I'll now show you how it's really trying to sell in a desperate way. Here, you're looking at the order flow chart, also Bitcoin in its daily time frame. We have a strong impulse here, and the price is being accompanied in the form of an uptrend channel. If you ask me, what I'm seeing here is a channel that is now ending in a range. And you know what we've been preaching for many weeks, which is the idea of looking for that climactic bullish action. However, if you want to know if we believe that the climactic bullish action we expect in Bitcoin will truly be the start of a powerful bullish trend, or conversely, if it will be a trap that pushes the price to fall down, I invite you to pay attention to what I have to explain in this video. But first, if you found this advanced technical analysis interesting, let me know in the comments. You can also support the channel by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the bell so that YouTube notifies you of future posts. Pay close attention to the following. Notice how we are clearly in an uptrend preceded by a strong impulse, and at the same time in this clearly bullish channel. How is it possible then that we can observe here in the delta, quite clearly, that what is really happening is that this rise is being attempted to be sold, and forcefully? If you wonder what this means and what implication it will have, I'll explain it to you now. Let's dissect what's happening. After the strong impulse, a first phase appears, the bullish channel, and throughout that period, selling has been attempted. But what has really happened? It's quite evident. Look, in this delta, we've had 13 days where selling has been attempted, and then the price only needs 2 days of sincere buying, specifically in these candles, to move the price upwards. Here's an important piece of evidence to consider. Now, notice how in the new phase we're experiencing, which is nothing else but a clear range, once again, we see how the selling intent predominates. We've just seen how not long ago, these sellers seen down here were easily taken down with a couple of clicks on the buy button and up it went. So, once again, if there was an attempt to sell here, we see that here in the range, there is still an ongoing attempt to sell. Look at how many days pass and the price is unable to fall. So, what can we expect next? Well, let me share with you what we think is going to happen with Bitcoin. Considering that we're coming from this bullish impulse, bullish channel, and we're finishing this range. If you know us well at Crypto Insight, you know that we're expecting that if in the recent past these sellers were cleared out with just one candle, why not expect that the next group, clearly selling, can also be cleared out, and then look for that climactic bullish action. It is on this daily Bitcoin chart where we're going to pose the following question. How far can that climactic bullish action go? Well, answering that question is quite complicated. Undoubtedly, that POC, that red line I showed you earlier, is an interesting point, without a doubt. But assuming to know that this is the final point of the tricky climactic bullish action is too presumptuous. However, sincerely, if we see that this level can hold and not be breached, I would have no doubt that we should then bet on this inverted defense zone and bet on a small correction. Once we have cleared out the shorts with that bullish impulse, and once retail investors want to try selling again, we could then have enough to look for that replica, at least until the origin of the breakout. But here, of course, assuming to identify the point of reversal is not easy as that climactic action. We don't know if it will stop here, since the price can gain traction and seek a very aggressive move, directly also to go for that OR. So, we would be seeing a first impulse, a very slight pause to go for that immediate replica. Therefore, the level of $39,890, this red line, the POC, will be crucial to monitor to interpret what lies ahead for short or medium-term crypto and thus adjust our search for trading operations. If you found this advanced technical analysis interesting, let me know in the comments. You can also support the channel by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the bell so that YouTube also notifies you of future posts. I wish you much success in your upcoming operations and see you in the next one. Goodbye.